What's up guys, DuTogira here, and welcome to another card review of the Blackrock cards that are going to be released. So they've announced part of Blackrock Spire, which will be, I guess, the second dungeon that we go through. And as part of the rewards for this particular run, we have the Dragon Egg, which is a 1 mana 0/2 with the text, whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/1 whelp. Um, is this relevant? Note that it does not have to survive damage, it simply has to take it. I feel like there's a lot of synergy between this and Pyromancer, but I don't feel like there's enough for a priest to actually run it. There's also some synergy between it and kind of like with Grim Patron, the whole warrior class thing, where warriors can damage their minions with Whirlwind, Death's Bite, and Cruel Taskmaster, stuff like that. But I don't think Control Warrior needs an early game minion for board presence. If they needed that, they would have been running Zombie Chow already. So this is a cool idea, but I feel like this is irrelevant as a card. Yeah. I just don't think this is going to be very worth it. Oh well. We also have Rend Blackhand. We've already discussed him. I guess he's going to be the legendary you can get out of the Towering Heights of Blackrock Spire, as Blizzard puts it. But we also have the Dragonkin Sorcerer, a 4 mana 3/5 dragon, which is noteworthy. He is in fact a dragon. I think the egg actually might be as well. No, the egg does not count as a dragon. My apologies. So that makes the egg even worse. Don't bother with the egg. But this guy's good. He's a 4 mana 3/5 dragon, which makes him good in a Dragro deck, as I'm going to be calling it. With the text, whenever you target this minion with a spell, gain +1/+1. The first thing I thought of when I saw this is, give this thing Power Word Shield and it becomes a 4/8. Let that sink in. Because this actually becomes a replacement for Blade Master in that case. On turn 5, you can play a Blade Master with a regular heal, and that's basically a Yeti. On turn 5, you could play this guy, give it a Power Word Shield, and now he's a 4/8, which is better than even a Blade Master Circle turn 3 in terms of stats. Now, I understand Blade Master Circle has the potential, if you go second, to give you a turn 2 4/7. This thing is a turn 5 4/8. That's a lot slower. But on the other hand, when you consider the fact that we're also getting... Where is the card? Not among these. Blackwing Technician. When you consider that we're getting Blackwing Technician, you get a turn 3 4, or you get a turn 3 3/5 for holding this guy. Then you play a Hungry Dragon on turn 4. Your opponent gets a little 1-cost minion. This sets up a great turn 6 Cabal. Now, I understand your opponent could sacrifice it, but still, just bear with me for this. You drop a turn 4 Hungry Dragon, and you have a 5/6. So now you have a 3/5 on turn 3, a 5/6 on turn 4, and then on turn 5, from holding a Power Word Shield, you could take this Dragonkin Sorcerer and get a 4/8 on turn 5. That's more insane than the 4/6 Druid of the Claw in bear form. The Dragonkin Sorcerer is just good, not to mention what he does with Valence Chosen. The dude becomes like a 6/10 with a Valence Chosen. A 6/10! That's so good! I can't think of another class that targets its minions with spells more than Priest does. Because a lot of Priest spells are buffs. There's Light of the Naru as well, for healing. Yeah, but Dragonkin Sorcerer just seems really good in a Dragro Priest, and that's what I've kind of been theorizing would be really cool. You run something like Shadow Madness in there as well with Cabal, and basically, even though the Hungry Dragons, giving your opponent minions, you can take them. I feel like Dragro Priest is going to happen, but Dragonkin Sorcerer is a ridiculously good card in Priest decks, and what other classes actually do target minions with spells? The Druid spells that target minions are not really worth it. Excuse me. I guess you could backstab it as a rogue, but that's not really worth it. Tinker Oil doesn't target. Cold Blood does. Let's see, if you Cold Blood this guy and manage to combo it, he becomes an 8/6. Not bad. But I feel like South Sea Deckhand is already kind of the Cold Blood / oil target. Other class. Paladin, give this guy a King's, and you're suddenly off your mana curve. Because it's a turn 4 to this guy, unless you coin. I guess you could coin this guy and then give him a King's. In which case he would become an 8/10. But then he's in death range. And in big game hunter range. With Priest, the cool thing with giving him a power word shield, and just a power word shield, is he suddenly becomes a 4/8, which means he's not in Shadow Word Death range, he's not in big game hunter range, and even if you give him Velen's Chosen, he's now a 6/10 instead of an 8/10, so he's out of big game hunter range. So I feel like this is really a Dragro Priest card. So I feel like that's going to be the deck. I'm going to make that thing, and I'm going to try to climb the ladder. And as you guys know, I do plan to do a completely gold-based run through Blackrock. I've been collecting gold in Hearthstone. My account is free to play. I've dusted some legendaries because it is free to play, which I really regret. My golden Velen from Naxxramas is gone. And I dusted Vol'jin at one point, only to have to recraft him. So that was really bad. But yeah, free to play is harsh. Don't dust legendaries, guys. Don't do it unless they're bad. You can dust like cards that you don't plan to use, but if they are useful for your class in any way, shape, or form, don't dust them, because Velen was really useful in Naxxramas. Anyway, I don't know, maybe it's better I don't have it, because then I can just try to use non-legendaries and do more of a closer to free-to-play clear of Blackrock. I'll still probably abuse some legendaries, but regardless, that's it for this update. We have, yeah, close all those. With this new little spoiler, we have, the Dragon Egg, which as I said, I think is irrelevant. The Dragonkin Sorcerer, which I think in a Dragro Priest is highly relevant. And Ren Blackhand, which is kind of irrelevant. But here's the other problem, is I'm seeing a really big shift toward aggro. Still, even with Blackrock, like, it's bringing more aggro decks into play, but I don't see any sort of help for control. Now, this being said, one of the weakest decks for an aggro setup is Priest, and right now I'm seeing Priest as the king of aggro in this Blackrock update. Or at least, in terms of who benefits, Priest will benefit from Blackrock in terms of the strength of a potential aggro deck more than any other class. But I like control decks a little bit more than aggro. I guess I won't feel too bad if I just build my own aggro deck, but I'm not... I don't know. I like it. I like the way this is going, but at the same time, it's kind of eh. Maybe I could get away with Divine Spirit Inner Fire on this guy, because the Dragonkin Sorcerer, when you cast Divine Spirit the first time, will get his +1/+1 before the Divine Spirit goes off. So he becomes a... let's see, a 4/12, then you target him again, and he becomes a 5/26, and then you Inner Fire him, and he becomes a 27/27. Never mind. No, Divine Spirit on a Fire Priest is not going to work in an aggro deck. Don't try it. Anyway, that's it for the card review. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.